A good morning to you, Alex. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Great, thank you. Okay, so the reason I invited you on for an interview is because I saw a win from you in the Freelancing Wins channel. Could you explain what that was about?
Yeah, so I've put up two on the Freelancing Win channel. First one was just some income that's come through from my online tutoring company, which was quite good, and that's how I got certified in the freelancing campus. And the other one was a sponsorship deal that we had with an online influencer, where we gave them some money to rattle off my company's name during their live stream once, and that's probably generated a lifetime value of about $100,000 for the company over probably about 6 years. We'll probably see that realized just from that. So that was quite good.
Mhm. And could you go more in depth into your company? What do you do?
Yeah, so my company is called Square Root. We do maths and English tutoring for students. We work 100% online on Zoom like this. Um, and yeah, we've got, I think, how many have we got? We've got 7 tutors that work for me. We've got about 100 families, and it's January at the moment. We start back work in February. Start of February is the start of the school year. We've already had 6 new students sign up for the year, which is probably the best January we've had so far. So I'm very happy with that.
Mhm. And how did the real world help with your company or help your
The
company?
real, yeah, real world's helped quite a bit actually. So I've moved up the real world pretty quickly. I'm now a captain in the freelance uh, campus, which is great, and it's really good to be able to talk to other captains about certain things, being able to talk to the certified students as well, ask questions, being able to talk to Dylan, who's the professor for the campus as well, being able to ask him certain things, um, being able to get that guidance and uh, stay on the straight and narrow as it is as well, some accountability and some focus with what we're doing as well. So it's been very, very helpful.
Mhm. And how did you find out about the real world?
So I found out about the real world through a friend of mine. So his name's Chris. He was talking about this guy called Tate that he saw on social media. I don't know if you know this guy called Tate. Um, and he kept saying, you like business stuff, you should join this thing. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But I ended up going to his place. He ended up showing me it, and I liked what I saw. So I thought, oh, jump on, let's have a look what it is. And it took me about, I don't know, I'd sort of say probably about 2.5 minutes to realize the value that I was actually dealing with there. And I quite liked it, so I've stayed on there.
Mhm. And has your
Yeah.
life changed since joining?
Life is mostly similar. Like day to day, it probably looks about the same, but a good mindset shift has probably occurred where I'm a little bit more focused with what I'm doing. I'm working more hours. We just had Christmas period, and I worked pretty solidly over that period to set myself up for this year. Um, it's really good as well having a community of 200,000 people to rattle things off with and compete with, in a healthy, productive way, though, like not in a toxic, tearing everyone down way. It's a very productive, very healthy sort of competition as well. Um, so stuff like that's been extremely helpful.
Mhm. From the way you phrased it, it does sound like it had a positive impact on you.
Yeah, super positive. So exercise wise, even so, in our freelance team, we're encouraging everyone every day to do some exercise, like having little exercise challenges that people reply to and people react to and people do. And being involved with that's very good because I'm the one that's kind of doing that. Um, as far as the sitting through DMs, like we don't really do DMs for my business per se, but we're still reaching out to current clients to keep them let's say, engaged with our business and that sort of thing as well. So we're still kind of doing DMs in a sense, but more to current clients rather than to new clients, because reaching out to mums from absolutely nowhere is generally not a good process for our business. That's usually not how ours works, but it definitely works for other businesses with how they're running things as well. So things like that that are being encouraged there is very, very helpful. Very, very helpful.
What have you noticed has been the biggest change in your life since you've joined?
So I'd probably say network. So with the real world, a really cool thing about it is how many people that are like you pursuing things. So for instance, if I'm just going day to day with myself outside of the real world, actually, real world outside of the platform, how many people do I have access to that are business owners? I've probably got, within my close network, probably about 30 people. How big are they as business owners? They're decently sized for local business owners, but they're not dealing with online business as well. They're all local businesses. So they've only got so much scope that they have as far as dealing with my own online business. On the other hand, right now, I've got a network of 200,000 people that are all dealing with online business. So not only has the size of my network drastically and exponentially increased, but also the relevancy to what I actually do. So I currently have a campus, the Freelancing campus, which has, I think, about 75,000 members. They're all relevant to what I do. Other campuses like copywriting have a little bit of relevance because we do some email, we do some blogs, stuff like that for the business. But at the end of the day, we're freelancing. We've got a skill and we're offering that to a market, which is what freelancing is. And so there's a lot of relevance to that. So I would say the network is hugely, hugely beneficial. That's probably been the biggest change.
Okay. And was the Freelancing campus the first campus you joined when you came into the real world, or did you try out others as well?
So I started in the copywriting campus actually, with Andrew Bass as the one that's running that. So the reason why I actually started, well, the thing that I thought to start with first was that because we were running email campaigns, and I thought it'd be good to learn how to write better emails for customers. And at the same time, when I joined, I looked at joining other campuses just to have a look at what's happening in them and having to think about how those campuses can bring value to the company. And I happened to fall on the Freelancing campus. And as soon as I started going through some of the course content, I was like, yeah, okay, this is the one we want. And very quickly realized the benefits of being involved with it. Even in the chats, talking to certain people and asking questions and the type of answers you're getting, the quality of the answers that you're getting. You might ask a question thinking you're going to get an essay back, but you only get a paragraph. But that paragraph has heaps and heaps of value, like way more condensed summary of what you need to do rather than an essay, which makes it much easier to read, much easier to deal with, and therefore much easier to implement, which is brilliant. So Freelancing campus is where I've ended up. I'm also in the marketing campus, the marketing boot camp, where we learn how to do marketing as well, just online marketing. It's great how to use your social medias and make landing pages and stuff like that to build your sales. And that's brilliant, run by Luke and his team. It's brilliant, works really, really well.
Mm-hmm. So with the Freelancing campus, when you say, this is the one we want, quoting you, what was it about that Freelancing campus that really clicked with you?
Well, one, I'd say the relevancy. So like the copywriting campus, like if you're doing copywriting, brilliant. But copywriting is a section of what we do. So we do online, we do our social media. So we've got like little copy at the bottom of our social media. We've got email, we've got blogs that we do as well on our website. So copywriting is definitely a part of the business, but it's not the business. When I moved over to the freelancing campus, we do freelancing. We freelance our tutoring skills. So that was the campus that was the most relevant. Same with the marketing campus. We do marketing, but it is not our business. That is a section of our business. So it's still relevant. It's still extremely helpful. Don't get me wrong, but it is not an overarching aspect of our business. The freelance campus is where it's at, because that's what we do. That's the whole encompassing thing of what we actually do. So from getting in there, so they've got the social media elements to learn how to advertise on social media better. They've got step-by-step guides on how to grow your business and how to increase awareness around your business, which is great because you can apply that at, like, if you've never made money before, you can apply that to make your first $100, or you can take the same concepts and apply that to making your first $1 million. So you can really take all this money, all this education, and really scale it up as you see fit, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And what was the biggest challenge you faced when first starting out?
So the biggest challenge was actually the platform we were using. So previously, the real world was called Hustlers University, and that was on Discord. And I'd never used Discord before, so it was a little overwhelming, let's say, because there's a lot of things there. I didn't quite get it, but I realized the value of it, so I stayed, which was great. But since then, we've moved to a new platform called The Real World, and it's a lot more streamlined. I think it's a lot it's a lot nicer to look at and to deal with. Everything's made purposely for the interactions of being in the real world, rather than Discord is actually made better for gaming, which is not helpful for people who want to make money, let's be honest. So this is made a lot better so that you can communicate easier and clearer with the people that you need to deal with. And then to set goals and to see the courses, it's all streamlined a lot nicer, which is a lot better for everyone involved, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. And now, on the other end, what were the 3 biggest lessons you've learned from the real world?
So the 3 biggest lessons, probably the power of expanding the network. So I was just talking about that before, obviously, but like everyone knows, your network is your net worth. So if I've taken my network from 30 to 200,000 people, that's probably a super big lesson to be aware of. And in particular, if I've taken it from 30 to 75,000 in the freelance campus as well, that's also particularly important. So now if I need a copywriter, I can find a copywriter. If I need someone to redo my website, I've got a place where I can go to do that. That's all going to help the business grow and help more money come in and help other people as well, which is what the whole business is about. So obviously helping students out, that's the whole business, help more people. So that's awesome. Second lesson is probably how to deal with managing systems and dealing with more staff. So one of the captains has really helped me kind of become aware of that and work together with that as far as just talking through certain things. And the third one is getting your mind right, like getting focused, setting some goals, working towards those goals, and having people to troubleshoot with. So it's great that in the chats you can actually go and you can say, hey, I've got this little problem. I've tried this, this, and this. They're not working how I thought they would. What should I try next? And you'll get someone who's done it before. And they'll just go, oh, yeah, they didn't work because of this reason. Try this. It's brilliant. That would have taken years to figure out, potentially. Like, depends on how focused you are on that particular aspect. Might be a small thing that's just kind of annoying you. Might be a kind of major thing, like how to hire staff, how to find staff members. But all of a sudden, you've got this thing that's just drastically decreased the time to scale your business. Same with like emails. Cool. I need help with my copywriting. Cool. Let's go to the copywriting campus. Let's have a chat with guys in there. That's what they do all day. They do email copy or copy in general. They're going to figure it out pretty quickly. If I've got problems with sending out DMs, cool. Let's go to the sales chat. Talk to Miguel. He's the captain that manages that. He's got great advice. So that sort of thing, brilliant. You might lose one customer when trying to get DMs. You go to the sales chat. What did I do wrong here? You'll get a troubleshoot. You'll get a new script. You'll get a lot of guidance. You'll go back to the next customer. Are you going to lose them? Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
It's great.
And did the wins channel have any effect on you?
The wins channel had a little bit of an effect on me. Most of the wins are from people who are starting, which is really good to see. But obviously, my business isn't just starting, so I'm a little bit more developed. So the wins channel for me has been really good when someone bigger than me has posted something. As I was just talking about Miguel there, I know you interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. He put up something about making $30,000 in a day or something like that. Excellent. Cool. How do I get to that big? That's a good question. It's good to see that you can actually do that.
Can you reveal figures from where you've currently built up to?
Yeah, so we're doing about 120,000 in the year. So last year we finished on about that. Something to be aware of with tutoring as well, we only get to work about 40 to 44 weeks of the year. That's the school term for the year. There's a couple of holidays that you've got, like between term 2 and term 3, you might have some income coming in, but that fluctuates quite a lot. We might have 50% attendance during that school holiday period, or we might have 0. Just depends. So that kind of fluctuates a bit. So we kind of only look at that 40, 44 weeks of the year where there's actual school terms happening. As far as this year goes, I'm hoping to double the business. I think that'll be pretty good. And it's January at the moment. The school year hasn't even started yet, and we've already got 6 new clients from things that we've been applying to our marketing, which we learned freelancing and the marketing bootcamp. So we've applied certain things from that, and that's obviously working very well because we will have more sign up end of Feb, start of March. But I can't think of a year we've had more than 1 sign up in January. Who signs up for tutoring before school even starts? No one. So we've had 6 already. That's awesome. So, you know, if that continues through the rest of the year, we might 6 times our business. Like, who knows? But I'm hoping to at least double it this year.
And to clarify, the teachings from the freelancing campus have helped get those 6 students, correct?
Yeah. So before I was talking about reaching out to the influencer and getting a sponsorship with them, and that's going to turn into 100,000 over the next 3 years, sort of thing. That was an idea that was put out on the Instagram course on the freelancing campus. Reach out to some influencers. I sat down and watched that course and just went, that's a good idea. And then I went straight in, contacted someone. I think within 2 hours, I contacted them. They put up something on Instagram saying that they're looking for a sponsor. I think 2 hours afterwards, and straight away I thought, Instagram course, that's exactly what they just said. I'm contacting them. I contacted them, and I think I sent them the cash in an hour. So like 3 hours after watching the course, I sent them the cash. Mind you, it was like $1,500. Wasn't much, and that's going to turn into $100,000. What's the ROI of like that course from the freelance campus? I don't know, but it's at least $100,000 at the moment by the looks of things.
Well, and you implemented speed, another lesson.
Big lesson. I always say, and I've been saying this for like a decade, business is a mix of speed and precision. So there I got that speed and precision. I kind of nailed that right there. So it's speed and precision. If you're precise and you work fast, you're going to get rewarded. If you're fast and you go the wrong way, at least you'll learn something, but it won't necessarily move the bar forward. But yeah, if you can get speed and precision, you're laughing. That's great fun then.
Yep. So where do you see your trajectory heading in 6 months to 1 year?
Well, 6 months. Oh, let's go 1 year. So one year, 1 year will be a good time frame. So for tutoring, as I said, I'm hoping to double the size of the business, but considering how we've started this year, it might be more. I don't know. I'd be hopeful. We've got systems in place so that if we do more than double, we can. So we've got training systems in place for staff, and we've got enough staff where we can actually do more than double, but I'm just looking to double for the moment, but I'm not going to say no if we go over that. Let's be honest. If it looks like, we're going to double in the first quarter, awesome. Let's go even harder and let's see how crazy this can get by the end of the 12 months. As far as like other aspects of my life, like fitness, let's say, like that's a big component in the real world, staying fit, staying healthy. We've got accountability things to make sure that you're doing enough push-ups during the day, that you're training. I've never really had too much of a problem with that. I am a former athlete, so that's kind of part of who I am and what I do in my day-to-day as well. So that's not really too much of a problem, but it is good because every so often, some days you're like, I don't really want to train. So having a place that you log on and you see some people have been training, you're kind of like, yeah, I probably should go train actually. So that is helpful every so often, let's not lie. That's why team sports are so helpful because, if you don't rock up, the team is, and they're going to know you're not rocking up. So that's kind of part and parcel of that. Coming from martial arts, team element's not quite there like team sports, but having an online community does the team part. That kind of helps as well. So hoping to be quite a lot fitter, quite a lot stronger. And then, the business growth as well. Hopefully have some more staff as well, that sort of thing.
Before we end off, do you have any advice to add for people considering joining the real world?
So my advice would probably be very simply to just join, get started, because starting's the hardest step. For myself, obviously, I've been running my business for almost a decade, give or take, somewhere around there. To some extent, been really growing it for the last 3 years properly, but been in business to some extent for about 10 years. The hardest part is the first step. So after that, the hardest part is figuring out what to do day to day to get yourself growing. Great thing about the freelancing campus is the course lays out a template of how to run and set up your business, literally from day one onwards. So it still applies to me. The courses there, they still apply to me. They still apply to the guys making even more money than me in there. So something like the freelancing campus, brilliant. They've got a course. You don't have a skill. You don't know what you're doing. Cool. Start the course. That's first $100. That's one of the course names, first $100. If you haven't done that, it's all about learning how to flip and make money from flipping. Great thing is you can scale that up from flipping a couch, flipping some headphones to flipping homes. So you can really scale it up and make a lot of money off just that course alone. Just apply the things in there and you'll make a lot of money from that. Keeping in mind as well, like I've realized the value of this. I've only been doing it in there for 3 months. So you can get a lot of value from not much time in there, which is also really, really good. If I didn't feel like there was value, I still wouldn't be in there, but I'm in there. And I've moved my way through from being just a student. I've become a mod. I'm now a captain as well. So I've moved through quite quickly. So if you're new and you don't know where to start, we've got something for you. But if you're new and you know what you're doing, you can move through quite nicely and you can get access to a lot more stuff that you might need to help you as well. So it's got something for everyone at every level, which is the whole point. So even as you start and you make your way up, there's more things for you to learn and there's more people for you to interact with so that you can continually grow rather than just grow to a certain level. There's continuous growth. It's built into the system. It's brilliant.
Great answer. And if people are interested in finding out more about you or want to contact you in some way, where can they do so?
So probably our website would be a good way, or Twitter, our socials. So our website, squareroot.com.au. On Twitter, we're Square Root Tutor. I think on Instagram and Facebook we are as well. You'll see the logo, you'll know the logo. If they ever see me in, in the free world, my profile picture is our logo as well. So when they see that logo around social media, they'll know it's me as well. So yeah, like we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So have a look for us, and if you need to contact me in the real world as well, you can always do that in the DMs or in the chats as well. I'm very, very open. I spend quite a bit of time on there each day. So yeah, easy to reach.
Okay, I'll add all of those to the description of the video. Alex, thank you very much. Really appreciate this.
Thank you.